everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Chemistry Educational Academy. Today topic is structural representation of organic compounds. This topic is most important when you are going to write organic compounds. So let us discuss about the structural representation of organic compounds. In this video, we are going to discuss about the introduction of structural representation of organic compounds, different types of structural formulas with examples, introduction of molecular models, and 3D and 2D structural formulas with examples. Structures of organic compounds are represented in several ways. Some important structural formulas are given in this chart. First one is Lewis or dot structure, dash or complete structure, condensed structural formula, bond line structural formula, and last one is molecular models. Here molecular models again divided into two types. The first one is three-dimensional representation, second two-dimensional representation. So three-dimensional represents are again that are three types. First one, framework, ball and stick model, space filling model. In two-dimensional representation, there are three types are there. Fischer projection, first one, Newman projection, Saha's projection. So these are the important structural representations. In this structure, two atoms participating in the formation of bond by the sharing of one pair of electrons. They form a covalent bond. Why these atoms are participating in the bond formation? Because of to get inert gas configuration. If they get inert gas configuration, that atom will get stability. In each and every atom, try to get the stability. So that is the reason these atoms are participating in the bond formation. In this Lewis dot structure, we must remember that carbon can form 4 bonds with other atom or identical atom. Nitrogen forms 3 bonds and oxygen forms 2 bonds. Halogens like chlorine, bromine and iodine, these forms single bond, and hydrogen also forms single bond. Remember that hydrogen do not follow the octet rule, and to draw a Lewis dot structure, you must follow these 5 steps. First one is count all the valency electrons, and second one is determine the central atom. Third, draw single bonds to the central atom. 4. Put all remaining valency electrons on atoms as lone pairs. Turn lone pairs into double or triple bonds to give every atom an octet. So here, suppose take example SO3, that is sulfur trioxide. And this sulfur trioxide, first count all the valency electrons. Sulfur having 6 valency electrons. Number of sulfur atoms are only 1. So sulfur 6 valency electrons. And oxygen having 6 valency electrons and 3 oxygen atoms are participating in the bond formation. So 6 into 3, that is 18 valency electrons. Total number of valency electrons is 24. So this is the first step, count all the valency electrons, means 24 valency electrons are there. And second one is determine the central atom. How we can identify the central atom? See here the formula of SO3. Which atom is present single, that is the central atom. Don't think about electron negativity high or low. Just think if the atom is single, that is the central atom. So here central atom is sulfur. So and draw single bonds to the central atom and to the remaining atoms. Drawing a line between single line between oxygen and sulfur. So this is the third step. And put all remaining valency electrons on atoms as lone pairs. See here, sulfur having 6 lone pair, 6 valency electrons. Sulfur is donating 6 electrons. Here one bond is forming by 2 electrons. One bond is forming by the formation of 2 electrons. So if it is single bond means there are 2 electrons are there in the single bond. If there is double bond, the number of electrons are 4 electrons. And if it is triple bond, so number of electrons is 6 electrons. So 6 electrons. So here sulfur forms 3 single bonds with 3 oxygen atoms. Means how many number of electrons are participating in the bond? Total 6. So here we are removing 6 valency electrons to 24 valence. Remaining is 18 valency electrons. So here oxygen, each oxygen having 6 valency electrons. So I am writing the one side you put the 2 dots. 2 dots means that is one pair of electrons. Don't write more than 2 in one side. And another side is 1. And this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in one oxygen atom. So like that you write remaining oxygen atoms. And see that each atom should follow the octet rule. Octet rule means valency electrons must have 8 electrons, that is octet rule. So here one oxygen atom having 6 electrons, 6 valency electrons, and one is bond pair electron. Bond pair means here 2 electrons are there. So it is also countable this oxygen atom also. So how many number of valency electrons that oxygen having now? 8 electrons. So this atom having 8 electrons. Like that this atom also having 8 electrons. See this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8. So this is also 8 electrons and this atom also having 8 electrons. Total is how many electrons are there? 18 electrons are there. And see the sulfur atom. Here sulfur atom having how many number of electrons are there? Valency electrons. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So only 6 electrons are there surrounding the sulfur. It fulfill the 8 rules. It need 2 more electrons. So because of that reason, this oxygen, that one pair electron is removing and pairing form a bond between oxygen and sulfur. So this is the structure of SO3 structure. So one more example is that is H2O, and next one is carbon dioxide, CO2. Same, carbon having 4 valency electrons, oxygen have 6 valency electrons, but here 2 oxygen atoms are participating. So one thing you must remember, each and every atom must satisfy the octet rule. So each atom, one more thing is, if you know the valency shell electrons in any atom, it is easy to write the Lewis dot structure. Some important structural formulas are, that is dash or complete structural formula and condensed structural formula, bond line structural formula. So these are look like same. Here first one is complete structural formula, means each and every atom they mentioned in separately, and if there is single dash between two atoms, that is they are mentioned, that is a single bond. If there is 2 dash between two atoms, that is double bond. 3 dash means that is triple bond. So here dash means a bond. See the example, N-propanol means C3H8O. Here number of carbons are 3. See 1, 2, 3 carbons are there and number of hydrogens are 8. So see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So each atom is separated by the single dash. And one oxygen is there. Here they mentioned last, that is OH. This is structural formula. But in condensed structural formula, the same identical atoms are mentioned by a subscript. In condensed formula, CH3, CH2, CH2, OH. They do not mention separately the hydrogen atoms, like they write on the H3, means 3 hydrogen atoms are attached with 1 carbon atom. Here 2 hydrogen atoms are attached with 1 carbon atom. So like that, this is the condensed structural formula. And last one is bond line structures. Here there is no specifically mention of hydrogen bonds, but only the carbon-carbon bonds are mentioned in a zigzag fashion. But heteroatoms, specifically they wrote on the separately OH group or like methyl groups or any other atoms are there separately mentioned. This is the bond line structure. So second example, see the second example, 1,3 butadiene. Formula is C4H6, means number of carbons are 4. So here carbon 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons are there, and remember that carbon forms 4 bonds with other atoms or identical atom. So see the first carbon, this carbon having 2 hydrogen atoms attached with 2 hydrogen atom, remaining 2 bonds with carbon atom. So it is first carbon is satisfied 4 bonds are satisfied, and second carbon also it is attached with 1 hydrogen atom, remaining 3 bonds are between another 2 carbon atoms. So this is the complete structural formula. And second one, here wrote H2. H2 means 2 hydrogen atoms are attached with 1 carbon atom. So one more thing, it is 1,3 butadiene. Diene means that is double bond. Which place it is there? First carbon and is third carbon. 1,3 butadiene. And the last one is bond line structures. Here they mentioned only carbon bonds in a zigzag fashion. So this is the first carbon and this is the third carbon. Here they mentioned double bond only. So first and third carbon having double bonds in a zigzag fashion, that is bond line structure formula. Third example is tertiary butyl chloride, means the formula is C4H9Cl. Tertiary, if the carbon is attached with other 3 carbon atoms, that is called tertiary carbon. So here tertiary butyl chloride. So this carbon is attached with the remaining 3 carbon atoms and 1 chlorine atom. So and number of hydrogens is 9. See this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So all are satisfied. And in condensed formula they write directly on number of hydrogens CH3, 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 Cl. So here is the carbon having 4 bonds, 1, 2, 3, 4. And in the bond line structure formula they mentioned it like a dash. This is the tertiary butyl chloride. And last one is 1,3 dimethyl cyclopentane. 1,3 dimethyl means first carbon and third carbon having methyl groups. First and third carbon having methyl group, and cyclopentane. Cyclo means it is a pentane in a cyclic form, and the formula is C7H16. So here the carbons and hydrogens are represented through a single dash, and it is in cyclic form, and 1 and third carbon having methyl groups. So this is the methyl group, and here also one more methyl group. But in condensed structure formula, they wrote on the condensed form. So it is CH2. This is one methyl group, and here is one methyl group. But in bond line structure, they mentioned single dash. This is the bond line structure formula. Molecular models are physical devices that are used for the better visualization and perception of 3D dimensional shapes of organic molecules. These molecular models are made of wood, plastic, or metal. There are three types of molecular models are used. First one is framework, and second one is framework, second one is ball and stick, third is space filling models. These models are three-dimensional models. So by using this, we can easily understand the structures of molecules. Three-dimensional structure of organic molecules can be represented on paper by using certain convention. See the first diagram. Here we are using one paper. If we are placing a plane of paper on this model, so this thick line indicates this hydrogen atom is above the plane of paper, and also called as towards the observer, and this dashed line or dashed wedge represent the below the plane of paper or away from observer, and these two hydrogen atoms are plane of the paper. See the example of some molecular models. First one is example is water, that is formula is H2O. See first framework model. Here in this framework model or skeletal model, central atom is oxygen. So here the red color ball is mentioned oxygen, and it is attached with two hydrogen atoms. So these white balls are hydrogen atoms, and in between the stick is called a bond. The stick is represented a bond between oxygen and hydrogen. And second one is ball and stick model. Here also same. Red ball is mentioned oxygen, and the yellow balls are mentioned hydrogens, represented bonds between oxygen to hydrogen. And but in space filling, but the red ball is oxygen. In whatever the space, in the space they put a white balls, that is hydrogens. So like this they are arranging the molecular models. It is not feasible to describe all the molecules three-dimensionally by writing on paper. So there are three types of projections are there, which are used to represent the organic molecules on paper two-dimensionally. So first one is Fischer projection, second one is Newman projection, third Saha's projection. See the first diagram. Here the compound is already in Fischer projection. So the top carbon is first carbon, second, third and fourth carbon. When we are converting to Saha's projection, this fourth carbon comes front and second carbon goes back. So always Saha's projection, and also eclipsed form. When we are rotating the Sahas projection in 180 degrees through C3 carbon. Only we are rotating the based on C3 carbon, not the backside carbon. So this C3 carbon, when we are rotating 180 degrees, it will give staggered conformation. C3 carbon goes to top and remaining bromine and hydrogen will come down. So this is the Sahas projection converts into eclipsed form to staggered form. And next, when Fischer projection is converted into Newman projection, here same like Sahas projection, and top carbons taken as back carbon and bottom carbons taken as front view. So here we are writing the C4 carbon is down of the front view and remaining bromine and hydrogen is the above the circle, and remaining C2 carbons are backside. We are representing as a dash line. When we rotating this Newman projection 180 degree through C3 carbon, only we are moving the C3 carbon. Based on C3 carbon, we are not backside carbon. So we'll get here, this is first carbon and this is the fourth carbon. So this is called staggered conformation. First one is eclipsed conformation. Like that same, first we are writing in the Fischer projection, then Sahas projection and Newman projection. When we are writing, first we should give the numbering from top to bottom, then it is converted into remaining projections.